Hello and welcome to 4th DTV. I have the great pleasure of having my brother on, retired Colonel U.S. Army Matthew Coleman. How you doing, brother Coleman?
Hey, I'm doing great, Brother Thomas.
Good to have you. Good to have you, brother
It's
Coleman.
good being here.
It's certainly an honor to have you. Um, I wanted to get you on here because there are so many things going on in the Columbus, Ohio area and the surrounding area, and your name keeps popping up. So I I wanted to first and foremost have you tell me a little something about the newly developed chapter, that a new chapter that's been around for about 2 years. If you can tell me a little bit about its history, I certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great, Brother Thomas. I was asked to come over there to Ada Nunu because they had a lot of brothers who had transferred over to Ada Nunu, and they had a lot of brothers that were reclaims that were a part of the startup of the chapter. And brothers who had worked with me on the international level had said, "Hey, we need someone with your expertise." And really, they were looking for me to come in for a very short period of time, just asked me to come over to just kind of help them get started. But as I got there and as I saw the environment and Columbus, Ohio, I saw that there was really a need for service there. And the more I looked at what was going on there, the more I know that yeah, we needed more Omega presence in that area to be able to make a difference. So we started off that journey with the charter of Ada Nunu on November 19th, 2020. And really, the chapter has flourished. Still fairly small chapter, about 70 financial members. But in terms of community impact, it'll rival anybody in Omega Sci-Fi. And so it was great to have a chapter so new and so fresh because you're not entrenched with um, certain cultures that we know that we're seeing that it's hard to get brothers to move in different direction when you have an older chapter because this is the way we always did it. And so it was a great opportunity to take a chapter in its infancy to say, hey, look, let's try a different approach. And really looking at it in terms of what our founders um, had looked at Omega being. And then so it was gave an opportunity to kind of shape the culture in the chapter, establish a brand. And you're right, we have skyrocketed recently in Columbus, Ohio, to the point, my brother, that I would say, 6 months ago, 6 to 8 months ago, I was going in there introducing myself, knocking on people's doors just to get a conversation. These days, they're knocking on our door. And so that's really a testament to the brothers and what we have done in the Columbus, Ohio community. And we have hit it big with some real big partners in the Columbus, Ohio community. I want to showcase and point that we were recently asked by the Ohio State University to be community partners with them. And if anybody knows the Ohio State University and their branding and how they vet the brand, and particularly for an organization that's been, with not a long history, but what happened is they worked with me on an initiative, and they were so impressed with our deliberate planning, our precise coordination, and our professionalism. They have reached out to us and say, hey, look, not only that, we're going to do synergy with another project in June, but then they want to sit down to look across the board all of the different things that we can actually partner with the Ohio State University and where the Ohio State University could provide funding to be able to support our programs. And if you don't think that's huge, my brother, you don't get that.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. And for our listeners again who are not Omegas, right? What's so significant about this, our brother Coleman is the bosses of what we call a graduate chapter, right? So the graduate chapter is another segment of Omega that's outside of the undergraduate university scope. So for him, for a graduate chapter to partner with a university and or surrounding community is a huge deal. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brother Coleman.
Oh, it's absolutely. I had a meeting recently with the City of Columbus Urban League President Stephanie Hightower, and once we came out of that meeting, she was so impressed by what not only what we were doing, but some of the strategic level thinking that we exchanged. That she has given me direct access, so I don't have to go through executive assistant. I will communicate directly with her, and then she's going to put me. She wants me to be part of a a group that's trying to bring some STEM initiatives into Columbus, Ohio. Not because I have a STEM background, but because of my strategic level thinking, that she saw that I could bring something totally different, a different way of thinking and a different way of them getting to it. And those things are important, my brother. Those things are very, very important.
Absolutely, and more importantly, and although we didn't delve into it deeper, you talked about your background, and it would it behoove I'd be remiss if I didn't share a little bit about your background or allow you to share a little bit about your background. So when people get themselves involved in these organizations, they need to know we're a professional organization with men who have done a few things. If you could, brother, can you share a little bit about your background?
Yes. Well, I'm a retired military colonel with 30 years of faithful and dedicated service to our country. I did a lot of high level staff and leadership roles, and to include taking that leadership into combat operations in Iraq. But I've always balanced military service with community service, which allowed me to be able to transport that throughout the world, actually. Um, in Omega, I came into the fraternity April 25th, 1985, Xi chapter, South Carolina State University. And that provided me a good platform to what I am today. We were vested in service, and I was able to descend or actually ascend throughout the fraternity, serving on, I think, about 8 international committees. I was a district representative, 13 district, which is our international, it's all the chapters outside the continental United States for 4 years. But I had a lot of other jobs in the military that really broadened and shaped me for that role. For instance, I was over Defense Corporation in 38 different countries. So as I became the DR in the 13th district, I've already had that international experience of dealing with all those things that comes with cultures and the differences with countries as you cross one border into another. It's just a whole different world. So all those things is what I took here with me, utilizing my not only my military background, because that actually provides a good experience for actually planning and being able to organize things. But I did, in the Army, only 10, well, actually all the services, only 10%, and you can call it top 10%, actually goes to resident senior service college. And so I was a graduate of senior service college, which is actually hand selected by a board for attendance. Only 10%. All your general officers have to attend that. So that tells you the level. And in there, it's all about strategic thinking. So it's a strategic level graduate course per se, because you do get a degree, a Master of Science degree in strategic um, studies from that. So I was able to take all these experiences that I have, and then I brought it to Columbus, Ohio. And then I said, how do we elevate our programs, activities? And one of the things I would tell any of the viewers out there, the size of the organization doesn't matter. I think the creative and innovative ways and approaches and methodologies that you utilize will matter. So let me give you a case in point. We developed. I wrote up a 5-year strategic plan for Ada Nunu earlier this year, and every engagement that I had was based off of that strategic plan. I can tell you for this Omega year right now, in terms of money vested and obligated, and so we're just at the beginning of our Omega year. But I can tell you by March, we will be at $95,000 of impacting scholarships in the Columbus, Ohio community. And in health initiatives with this recent event that's coming up, when you look at cash and in-kind services, we will exceed $100,000 worth of easily in that endeavor. And so now you really have a community impact because you're establishing a reputation. You're showing the community how you're uplifting them. We're very, very thoughtful in what we do, and we're very, very intentional in our service. And that comes across the board. Even so much as Council President of the City of Columbus, Council President Harding, recently, after having a meeting with him in December, uh, put out to his staff that um, we have premium access to his office now, and they're actually working to look at where can we get synergies in our program activities that he can actually support. And he asks specifically, when we identify that, don't be afraid to ask for the City of Columbus funding to be able to help support those initiatives. If you don't think that's huge, that's a rare territory that we're treading on, that we'll have that level of access and even Sheila Favors. So he wants me to meet other members of the city council. We do have an event that will actually bring some of those members out uh, next weekend, and so, or actually this weekend coming on Saturday. So we really been working very, very hard in this vineyard that we call home, Columbus, Ohio.
Brother Coleman, you know you have to have done a lot of things right to find yourself in this position, right? You and your members throughout Ada Nu recognize and understand how important it is to be impactful to your community, because your community in turn, benefits from the association, and ultimately some of these individuals that participate or even come out and support your chapter may one day become members of your organization. It's always a bonus and a plus. And just think about in the grand scheme of thing, Ada Nu in Columbus, Ohio is just one small fraction of what the fourth district is. And for our listening audience, the fourth district comprised of West Virginia and Ohio. Currently, we have about 39 active chapters that include graduate chapter and undergraduate chapters throughout the two states. And to see just one chapter doing their very best to uplift their community speaks to our cardinal principles of manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. And that number two principle of scholarship speaks directly to the funding that you all are raising toward helping others educate themselves and do the things they need to do to find themselves in a better place in life. So I commend you and your team for continually brightening that star as each of us seek to be better at everything we do. Um, Let me not forget, you have an upcoming event, the breast care survivorship. Are you guys preparing to work on that, or have you guys launched that already?
No, actually, the event is Saturday, and um, I have put a lot of time and effort, as well as other brothers in the chapter. Brother Caffey has been my wingman the whole way, and Brother Jamal Hibbler, my health initiative chair. It's kind of a funny thing because, when we came out of October 29th, we did a breast cancer awareness event with the AKAs in Columbus, Ohio. And one of the things I mentioned at the end is that Ada Nu was going to invest $2,500 to purchase mastectomy bras for women who had underwent single and double mastectomies, and we wanted to do it to women from low income and underserved communities. And then, you look at it, you're at the end of October. So now, we're going into Achievement Week. So you don't have time to work on that. And then it's Thanksgiving right after that. So now it's December. And then in a very, very compressed time, um, I I say, okay, man, we got to get on this thing and have a very, very deliberate plan. And we actually put a plan. One of the things I would tell any organization is the detail planning, the research that you actually do up front is going to save you a lot of time and energy. So it was like it was probably mid-December. I'm approaching the Ohio State University and um, cancer clinic, cancer support of Central Ohio, and then the Columbus Cancer Clinic and Life Care Alliance. I did all that in the middle of December, but everyone that I spoke to or pitched that idea to just fell in love with it. They fell in love with it and wanted to immediately support it. And not only that, when they came up with questions like, yeah, I think we're going to have, if we move it this location, we have a transportation problem. And I would say, no, we won't have a transportation problem because I've already talked to the City of Columbus Department of Neighborhood. And if these ladies need transportation, they will provide transportation. So every, I think, pitfall that they could name, it was already well thought out and well researched. And that really impressed people like, wow, okay, these guys, they just ain't, ragtag outfit just throwing out an idea. They've been thinking about this thing. They've been thinking through and they've been talking to people. And that's very, very impressive. One of the comments that came out of Life Care Alliance and the Columbus Cancer Clinic was, I love working with these guys. Didn't I tell you these guys are on it? They think through. And then part of the biggest compliment is that to say that, your ability to bring all these organizations together or get funding from these organizations. I mean, you got Big Star Transit, you got the Ohio State University, you got Life Care Alliance and the Columbus Cancer Clinic. You got Chamberlain University School of Nursing. You got actually the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center and the James Clinic, which is their oncology clinic. And then you got other folks that say, oh, wow, look what these guys are doing. I want to be a part of it. Then you get the Commission on Black Girls. Then you get the Department of Neighborhoods, City Columbus Department of Neighborhood. And then all of a sudden, see Susan G. Coleman's organization hears about it. Hey, we want to contribute. NEMAP Food Bank, hey, we want to contribute. You got Keurig Dr. Pepper, we want to contribute. And you got Batiste LaFleur, Galleria, hey, we want to do this to help you do that. So it was just a beautiful thing. But think about it. We're putting this together in essentially 10 weeks. 10 weeks. And, we're going to transform that space. We decided that we were going to make a celebration of life event to uplift these women. So check this out, brother. The first thing was coming up with a theme that pops, and we say survivorship, a celebration of life beyond the struggle. So we have been getting women registered for this event. We'll continue to get registration all the way till the day walk through. So they're going to register in. We got 360 photo booth. We have a 2-hour pampering window. We have massage therapists coming in. We have nail techs coming in. We got makeup artists coming in. We're going to transform that space with, we got the lighting, the music, the aromatherapy, all those things, the enhancements. We'll have food, we have refreshments. We got a live jazz quartet with the melodic atmosphere that's actually going to be playing. We're going to love on them for a couple of hours, and then we go to program. We have gift bags with all kind of health and wellness information. We're giving them $50, all of them $50 gift cards. We're giving them bouquets of pink roses. I mean, a whole full bouquet of pink roses for each one of these ladies. And so we wanted to showcase, you know, that we appreciate them. We need our mothers. We need our
Absolutely.
sisters. We need our
Brother
aunts. We
Coleman,
need our
I want to
grandmothers.
show your video. Give me a chance. I want to show your video
Okay.
that you shared with me.
All
Let
right,
the people
my
see.
brother. Yeah, you can tell that I'm very, very passionate about what we're doing. But please show the
I
video.
understand. I understand. You did an excellent job. Can you see it?
Yes.
I had stage 3C triple negative breast cancer, which is one of the most aggressive breast cancers that you can have, and it's mostly found in Black women and Hispanic women. I went on this journey, a 7-month chemo, 2 months of radiation, and everything in between. I have been cancer free for the last 12 years. Yes.
And this is unique. So we're talking about women and breasts and, Tiffany bras and wigs. And you have all male organizations pushing to celebrate these women. How does this make you feel as a survivor with a testimony to know that there's a group of men who are celebrating?
I think it is phenomenal. And I just want to give them an applause for just even thinking of this event and putting it together and just thinking about women who are survivorship, who has gone through this journey. And for them to do this, I think it is so beautiful.
Yeah, it gives me chill, my brother. Gives me chill.
Brother Coleman. That was awesome. Breast cancer has impacted many of us throughout our fraternity. And I am one who's my wife has endured, and she is a survivor. She is a survivor of breast cancer. And I have to tell you, Brother Coleman, the day we found out was the one of the shockingest days of my life. I was on the journey to lose weight, and when I heard that news, I couldn't even focus on myself anymore. So we know there are many folks out there that deal with these illnesses, and the fact that you guys are putting this thing on your shoulders and really driving towards success, brother, is something to be applauded. And I am super excited for you. And I know that you all will do well. You will represent Omega well in this endeavor, and I'm sure in any endeavor you put your hands toward.
Thank you,
Yeah.
my brother.
Great job. Great job. With
Um,
that, brothers, we got about 6 more minutes to go. Please share. Please share anything you want our audience to know about. What's going on in Columbus, what you plan to do with regard to the future.
yeah, so before I get into that, one of the point that I want to make about the breast cancer event is that we've also got these ladies premium service at the Stephanie Spielman Comprehensive Best Center. So they're getting 5-star boutique individual service with wraparound service on top of that. So I just wanted to highlight that we're not they're getting the creme de la creme, and they're not getting no low budget service. They get the best that we have to offer. Um,
Deserve it.
so the next event that we're actually going to have after that, it will be our talent hunt and scholarship recognition program on March 12th. That's actually a big program for us, big activity. We did, it's the inaugural Benjamin Pops Wilson Omega Talent and Scholarship Recognition Program. Benjamin Pop Wilson was a very, very acclaimed musician. He was a 1969 Iota Psi brother. So he went there to Ohio State University, and he got sick right before completing his receiving his degree. But we were able to go back and get his degree, not as an honorary degree, but a conferred degree from the Ohio State University. We're very, very proud of that. Our program is a little bit unique. I was in the Oracle back in 2001 because of how I did the talent hunt program, which was different. And then we have a scholarship recognition piece to that. So it's going to be a very, very entertaining evening. It's going to be at Capital University, Mies Hall auditorium. The district representative came there last year. He loved it. And so he's going to come back this year, and we're going to have a great lineup. We've been very, very successful in our fundraising, and our minimum scholarship level now is $2,500 per scholarship recipient. So we're looking at giving at least 12 scholarships out. We will also provide our string scholarship. So we have Dr. Urban String Columbus. We have string scholars develop those musicians in the performing arts. And so those are middle schoolers. So we have about 4 or 5 years where we're providing scholarships that will help them to go to those recitals that they require, their rehearsals, and then provide them some musical pieces. And then in May 26th, we're going to have our inaugural golf tournament. So it's going to be a phenomenal event that we actually have to kick off the golf tournament. So I ask all you golfers to come in. We're going to have a great time there in Columbus, Ohio. And we try to make all our events first-class event that's commensurate with our professionalism, our education, and our talents, and we'll combine that. And we like to have fun too. Now, funny thing, Brother Thomas, is that I know the brothers are kind of beating me up because we, in a little bit, 2 years and 3 months, we have done all of this without having a single party.
Wow.
and it's just a different strategic approach built on the foundation of service. And through service, we were getting tremendous support from the community. And we're going to even get even better support from the community because of service. We are looking at creating a signature event. I don't think we'll be able to get there this year because I got a very, very high bar for anything. But I think by next Memorial Day, we will have it. And we're going to bring the Coachella experience to the 4th District in Columbus, Ohio.
Wow.
So look
Sounds
out for
it. To me.
It will be, my brother. It will be.
They would take it for me. They would take it for me for sure. For sure. I tell you, I love Columbus. Columbus, my first trip off the yard. Being a former football player, I hardly got a chance to leave because of football. But this particular year, we did not make a bowl game, and I got a chance to drive up to Columbus, and I ran into the old legendary Melly Mel. Melly, the big man, Melly Mel. I ran
83.
Yes. I was walking in a Kroger and happened to run into him there. And that was my first experience at Iota Psi, which was a pleasant experience for me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brother Coleman, our time is about up. I'm sure I will have you on again. You're doing such great work there. We have to continue to share with the public what we're doing. And also it gives the brothers a high bar to try to match some of the stuff that you guys are doing. So again, brother, I applaud you. I certainly appreciate you and look forward to seeing you in the near future, brother.
Hey, thank you, Brother Thomas. And one point that I would like to emphasize throughout this, and all these events that we're actually doing, we have brought our young brothers from Iota Psi with us. partnering in these, and I think it's a great to have that relationship. But they're doing so much community service work because they're doing it with us, and I think it's a beautiful thing that we're building those young men to understand what's most important in our fraternity is the service that we actually do. So they're partnering with us in the breast cancer event, they're partnering with us in the talent hunt event, and then they'll be a part of us because we give them opportunities to also have earning potential so that they could be independent as an undergraduate chapter. Thank you, my brother.
All righty. All right. You have a good one, sir.
All righty.
All right. Bye-bye.